before I kind of give you guys some advice on how to start your spiritual journey or like your self-love journey, I want to go into a little bit of like the background of like how I started and like what kind of introduced me to this. And so I started when I was like around 16. I had a friend that knew everything about like The Secret and like law of attraction and manifestation, and she we were like super close, and she showed me The Secret, right? I never read the book and I never watched the movie. It's actually like I tried to watch the movie and it was really boring to me, so but anyways, she was kind of like telling me all about like law of attraction and manifestation, and I was just like, what? Like, really? Okay. And so that's kind of when everything started to begin for myself. I'm 24 years old now, and let me just tell you guys that the journey is so long. Like, it's been what, 8 years, and I'm very deep I'm very deep into it, but I'm not like as super advanced because I'm still learning about like crystals and like a lot of just like shadow work and like chakras and stuff. So I'm like not super deep into it, but I just know how to manipulate my mindset and just receive the results that I want to receive, if that makes sense. So it is such a long journey, and it's been 8 years, and just be prepared, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, so I started to just watch and do a lot of research on YouTube. Some of my favorite people, like my OGs, was Erin Dowdy, also Lior Alexandra. Those two people helped me understand and made me feel comfort in all of the unusual experiences that I was currently facing, and like why I was feeling a certain way or why this was happening. Like, they literally have all the answers to all of that. So I highly recommend like checking them out because they have such good information, and like Erin is so deep far into this journey that there's literally probably a video for every single experience that you're gonna go through. So as I slowly started to open myself up to my spiritual journey and like the universe and the power that we hold within ourselves, within like manifesting and law of attraction, I remember around 17, maybe it was my senior year, I want to say like senior year, for sure senior year, I was starting to like journal and like write things out that I wanted and really just let them go. Like, I was still in the process of like learning that you can't just like hang on to like whatever you're trying to manifest. You have to like let it go. But I had such a hard time letting those things go because I wanted them so bad. And I was really living in lack. And so that didn't really help either. So I remember this was the first big thing that I truly manifested. And this is like when I was just like, wow, like this shit worked. So I do have a video on that. I'm going to have the video like up here for you guys. It's basically how I manifested my like first luxury car. And so it's a crazy story because honestly, like I was in no means in a place to really get this car like at all. And so I'm briefly going to share the story, but if you want like a more of like in depth, then like I said, I'll link it. So what had happened was that I was like 18 years old. And I remember I would like drive to school in my car, and I would imagine myself like driving like a really nice car, like a Maserati or just something like very luxurious when I was driving my Nissan Altima. And so I would like just feel that feeling every time that I would drive my car. and I wrote down exactly what I wanted. I wrote down like the price of the car. I wanted it to have low miles. I wanted a sunroof. I wanted like it to be a sporty luxury car. Everything that I wanted. And at the end of my senior year, during that summer transition to my first semester of college, I ended up purchasing the Lexus that marked everything that I wanted. And I believe it took me like over a year to like manifest that, but technically, it's really weird because I have this pattern with like the cars I always end up getting. It's so weird. I basically go to like the dealerships, I do like a test drive, or I check out the car that I ultimately want to get. And even if I don't get it right away, like I always end up eventually getting it. Like that happened when I got my Lexus a year prior. I actually went and test drove a Lexus and I wasn't even looking at that car. Like I went to the dealership to look at a different car and I was like, this is really cute. Like I want to test drive it. And then a year later, I ended up getting the Lexus. I did that with my Mercedes. It wasn't specifically for that model because that model wasn't out yet. But I did go to the Mercedes dealership and I checked out like a bunch of their cars a year before I actually ended up getting my Mercedes. And then you guys already know, the past July, I did like a shopping for my dream car vlog. And that is when I went and I test drove that Range Rover and I fell in love. And literally a few months later, I ended up getting the Range Rover. So I ended up manifesting that car, and that is when I was just like, wow, because it wasn't until a few months later that I found that piece of paper like in the journal where I wrote down everything that I wanted in a car, and down to the price, down to the dollar amount. That is how much I bought my car. It is insane. What I started noticing early on in my spiritual journey was I started to see like a ton of angel numbers. And this is like something you can see on clocks, it's not speedometers. Yeah, speedometers on your car, license plates, addresses, phone numbers. Like it is so crazy. And everyone kind of interprets them differently, but you can like look them up and see if it's like relevant to like what you're doing. But basically that's just kind of like, I always take it very general that like you're on the right path, or you know, just like your guides are nearby and just things like that. So it is really different for everyone, and you just kind of like know that you're a little bit tapped in when you start seeing like a lot of synchronicities and angel numbers. So now I want to kind of give you guys some advice if you do want to start your spiritual journey. I've thought about this really long and hard because I am so advanced in my journey that I'm like, okay, like where do you even start? And that is why I wanted to do this video and make it the first video, because it is like essential, because I can't teach you guys how to like find financial freedom if I can't teach you like the basics of, you know, there's just like so many steps that you have to do. And so I'm gonna try to do them in a way that you learn as you go. And so I thought about the things that I would have wanted to know when I first started, or like even a guide of like where to even start. But before I get into that, I want to tell you guys about Skillshare. I definitely want to make 2022 a year of new learning, growth, and just really connecting with my creativity. And I love doing that through Skillshare. I think this is just like a great way to prioritize your self-care, as a way to invest in yourself, unwind, and relax. So one of my favorite classes that I have been obsessed with is this Designing the Life You Want 4 Exercises for Clarity and Motivation by Michelle B. I love this class, on top of all the new premium classes that they release every single week. So there's always going to be something new for you to enjoy, and I would honestly love for you guys to check out this class. Luckily, I was able to partner up with Skillshare, and they have been so grateful that they are actually going to allow you guys to try it out for free. So for the first 1,000 people to use this link, will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Skillshare. It's gonna be down below, so definitely make sure to check that out. And thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of the video. So one of the first things that I would suggest doing is doing like a lot of research and really educate yourself in the process and learn a lot about this journey, because it's really going to allow you to understand exactly what's going on and process a lot of things. So definitely want to research, watch a lot of YouTube videos. Obviously, if you're here, then you're kind of like educating yourself in a way, and you know, just Google a lot of stuff. And I want to suggest checking out Skillshare for that, because they do have some classes and tools that I think will really help benefit you. The next step is going to be a very, very important step in your journey, and this is not going to be like a one-time thing where you just kind of do it and it's gone. It's definitely going to be like a process, and you're going to have to do a lot of this like throughout your life. Like this is going to be a skill you're going to have to really master, and that's basically understanding shadow work and just clearing your mindset and like your beliefs, and you know, just being very open-minded to receiving and being open to the process and receiving messages and just understanding your journey. Like you can't go into this thinking this shit is fake, this shit is like not gonna work, or whatever it is. Like it's just not gonna work that way. So you have to work on shadow work and being open-minded. And basically my term of shadow work is going in and identifying triggers or traumatic events and just allowing yourself to grieve, write those things out, maybe even like respond to that event and just let go. Like just process everything to just let it go. I wish that I did a lot more shadow work in the beginning of my journey, just because I have dealt with all of the shadow work within the past 2 years. And it has been very overwhelming, and I kind of wish I would have known that shadow work is very important. You can do shadow work by talking to people if that helps, if you're comfortable with that. My favorite way is to journal everything out, because that's just like my safe space, and I think like it's just very strong and powerful to write things out. I used to take notes on my iPad or like journal on my iPad, and it just doesn't feel as good as like pen and paper. And so journaling is like the best way. If you're scared that people are going to like find out or like read your journal, what I would do is I would just like write it out and then just like burn it or toss it somewhere, or like just get rid of it right away. That's not going to eliminate like you letting go of that work or anything. Like it's not going to do anything to that. So that is one of the ways that I would do shadow work. I want to suggest like meditating, but I know that like a lot of people, especially when they're first beginning, that they have a hard time meditating. And so like if it's not for you, yeah, like it's not for you. And so basically you want to journal anything that like triggers you, and this is going to be the key. So like throughout your life, when you find something that like triggers you, or something that causes you stress, anxiety, or whatever it is, that is where you need to start the letting go process and just allow yourself to heal from that experience. And just in general, like if anything causes you stress, anxiety, or makes you very angry, just like know it's just not meant for you, because what is meant for you should not make you feel that way. So just remember that like everything should feel good and like just flow and make you really happy, or it's not meant for you. And I just like hate that society glamorizes stress, and it's like, no, you shouldn't be stressed all the time. You shouldn't have anxiety. You shouldn't be like mad and angry. Like, why are we withholding all of those emotions in our body. It's just weird. Like, it's like, it's almost like normal to be stressed out at your job, or like, I don't know. Like, this is coming from someone that literally thrived on stress. I would create stressful situations for myself. Like, if I was going on a vacation and I needed to buy clothes for vacation, I would put it on my to-do list and I would like stress out about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to order this. I need to order this for it to come in time. Like, I would literally stress out about shopping for clothes to go on vacation. Like, what is wrong with me? So the next thing is actually super important. The faster you can understand this, because I really didn't get this until like a few months ago, honestly, is understanding energy, because energy is everything, literally everything. Knowing how to protect your energy is very, very important. I have learned in the past couple of months of like ways that I can protect my energy and like create good energy for my environment, my home, my space, my days. I think the home is super sacred. I think that not everyone should be coming to your house, or you should not just like allow just people in, because whatever they're going through or whatever they experience throughout the day, like they're like bringing it into your home. And if this is like your safe space, it no longer becomes your safe space. And so just having a place that just makes you feel very good and very zen, just like Kim Kardashian literally does this. She's like, my house is like, I need it to be very zen and like calm, because once I step out, it's like so chaotic. And I completely agree with her. So I definitely want to do a video about like how to create like a good energy home. And the more that you learn about like energy and, you know, protecting it and everything, you really do learn how to control it and like not allow things to come in and like affect your mood. Like, we all know that we've had like those bad days where it would happen to me all the time in college. Like, if I had a bad morning, say like I was late, or like my spilled coffee on me or something like that, and then I was like late, I just attract more bad shit into my day. It's like, oh, now my tire's flat, and then, oh, I forgot to do my homework, and then this happened. It's all these like bad coincidences because I'm like angry, like I'm filled with anger and like annoyance and like everything, that I only just attract more of that into my life. And so like, we've all been there. We've all had like a bad day, start of the day, and then it just like, if you don't switch up your energy, it's literally going to like, it's like a domino effect. It's gonna be like such a shit day. Learning how to control that and like not allowing certain things to affect your mood like will completely enhance your life, and that is like a guarantee. And overall, like, just enjoy yourself, enjoy the journey. It's going to be long, it's going to be difficult, it is going to be confusing at times, but it's also going to be so beautiful at the end, and you just see life so differently, and you are just so much more at peace with yourself. Just take every experience and just appreciate it and just learn from it. You'll definitely be alone for the most part, but it's not lonely. I love hanging out with myself. I love just sitting there in my office on my yoga mat for 2 hours, like stretching and like meditating, being present with my body. It is just so good to me. Like, it is just like one of my favorite things to do. And just start being good to yourself. Like, do at least one thing a week for yourself. We are always wanting to like learn so much about other people, but like fear to learn ourselves. And I think that is completely opposite, because like, how are you willing to like learn more about, you know, that guy or whatever, but you don't want to learn more about yourself. I'm just so comfortable in myself, and that is like such a power move. So just enjoy yourself, enjoy your journey, learn things about yourself that you never knew. That is all for today. If you want to support me, then definitely check out Skillshare. It's gonna be linked down below, and make sure that you subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys in my next video.